Hello everybody, AVT here, and I am back with another video for Star Wars Galaxies Legends, and today we are going to be beginning our journey towards Ace Pilot, and I have chosen to join the Smuggler Alliance, which starts here in the back of the Mos Eisley Cantina. So that starts here with Mr. Dravis, so we're going to go ahead and talk to him real quick. Some of our shipments have come up missing. We suspect foul play. Why don't you run a quick patrol to make sure there's nothing underhanded going on out there? Job is going to be pretty angry if we start failing to deliver the goods. What about training? Run the patrol and we'll talk about training later. Alright, so as you can see, we've got our mission updated here, traveled to the tatooine system, and what I've done, if you couldn't tell, I'm running a little bit faster than normal. Wow, I really can't talk today. Then normal, and that's because I've taken an entertainer buff that gives you experience gain and the movement speed just to help me shuttle back and forth. Since I'm only planning on doing space combat right now, I'm not really going to need any combat stats. Any experience gain actually affects your experience towards becoming an ace pilot. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to take our starter ship here, and we're going to launch into space. Alright, so here we are in the Tatooine system. It's going to give us our waypoint right over here. And as you can see, you can zoom in and out of your cockpit. Doesn't really matter, whatever view you prefer. I'm going to close this because I don't need it. And you've got all kinds of different things in space. So if you hit X, you're going to target the nearest neutral objective. You can hit Tab as normal to target the nearest enemy. Nothing about that has changed. And once you have an enemy targeted, you can hit the bracket keys on your keyboard, and if you see up in the top right corner of the screen, it now says engine 100%. That means you're targeting the engine. I can target the reactor. I can target, on this one it's just the reactor and the engine. As you get into some of the higher tiers of enemies, there's going to be additional things that you can target. But, go ahead and deselect that. If you hit K, it's going to target the nearest player, which it looks like is the lucky shot here. You've also got H, which is going to bring up your system map. This is going to allow you to hyperspace between different systems and different areas. That's going to be very important on some of our later missions. So just keep that in mind, that that's also a thing. And then, let's see if I can remember the key. Ah, there we go. So V right here is going to tell you the condition of all of your ship components. So we're all repaired up here. It's not going to be any problems at all. And you also have the ability to hit spacebar to match the speed of an enemy. So this enemy right here, if I wanted to match their speed, I could hit spacebar and follow them at exactly what speed they're going. It's not going to do anything for me right now because apparently they're faster than I'm already moving. This starter ship is not very fast. Continuing going over what we've got here in space, you've got your targeting reticule right here in the middle. On the right is going to be your capacitor, and on the left is your engine speed. So we're ramped all the way up. We're doing 427. We have 500 charge in our capacitor, which, as you can see, if you fire, it will drain on every single shot. So as you go to equip your ship, you're going to have to make sure that whatever weapons you've got loaded into it, your capacitor is set up to handle their draw. It's kind of a balancing act. If you want to get into, oops, that's not what I meant to do. If you want to get into your commands, you just hit escape, open up commands, and you've got astromech, which we'll talk about a little later. You've also got space, and these will continue to fill out as we progress through being a pilot. And really quickly to finish up, if you go here, you can see our progress towards the next tier of piloting. We have 6,072 experience out of 7,500, and we'll get to fly a new type of starship once we achieve the next rank. So basically, that's going to be our goal. We're looking to go all the way around here until we get to Ace. So here we are, finally arriving at our patrol waypoint. Apparently my flying sensitivity is very high. I'm going to need to take a look at that. That's okay. I can deal with it for now. Alright, continue patrolling. Another 4,000 meters this way. I don't have it right now because I don't have a booster equipped, but you can buy these things called engine boosters. They're basically like nitrous from a Fast and Furious movie. Um, can I move this? Why is this in the middle of my screen? Um, but you'll be able to hit B to activate that, and it'll be a separate bar right here next to your engine. It basically just overloads your engine for a short time until it drains, gives you more speed. And I believe that's all that I need to go over for the moment. I can go over some of the additional things as we progress further and further into piloting. But our end goal here, what I'm really after, one, I do want to have a nice ship for myself because there are some missions that I'm looking to do that require you to go into space. And if I go into space with my current ship, I'm going to get absolutely demolished. Each planet has slightly different enemy levels. That's another thing I forgot to cover. This is a tier 1 ship, which is the lowest in the game. It goes all the way up to 5 and 6. Basically, tier 5 is what you're going to be fighting right around once you achieve Ace Pilot. And then if you really want a piloting challenge, you can go take on some of the harder ships in some of the more difficult areas. But this is Tatooine. This is the beginner area. I did choose the Smuggler Alliance. I plan on going through all of them, actually, because Legends added something called Ace of Aces, which is a cool collection to where if you go through every single type of piloting, you get this cool badge. There's really nothing to it except for the badge, to my knowledge. But either way, I want the badge because I'm a completionist like that. But I started with the Smuggler Alliance. It's one I've done before. I'm familiar with it. It's usually the person I talk to get my first ship anyways. So we'll go ahead and we'll run through the whole thing. Alright, another patrol waypoint. So, that is really going to be the gist of this first mission. There's not a whole lot to it. If I remember right, towards the end, at one of these patrol waypoints, I am going to get attacked. But these starter ones are just not difficult at all. Oh, yep, there we go. There it is. So yeah, I'm getting jumped by 3 ships. I'm going to go ahead and target this one closest to me. We're going to start aiming to take them out. Sensitivity is so high. That is going to need a little bit of work. As you can see down at the bottom, I forgot to mention that, you've got those blue bars, and then you've got the red. The blue represents your front and rear shields. So as you can see, those will regen as I take hits. And then the red is the ship's armor, which you will not be able to regen. You'll either have to use a repair kit on the ground to repair your armor, or you can communicate with the local space station to get some repairs. Perfect. Mission complete. Return to Dravis for your next assignment by traveling to the Tatooine space station and using /com. So I'm just going to verify before I go back to the cantina that I've completed what I set out here to do. And what I do is I go into the data pad and I look at waypoints. Landing station, Tatooine station, waypoint. So what you can do is you can autopilot to the waypoint. There you go. And it says it wants me to /com with it. There we go. C on the keyboard will target the space station. I'm going to make sure, since I still do have this space waypoint, that I don't accidentally dump the quest by returning to the planet. It says it wants me to go to the space station and hit /com, so that's exactly what I'm going to do now, just to make sure. It's always something you want to check before you finish a space mission, especially because some of the later space missions can get rather long. They can take up to an hour at a time, hour and a half. And if you get an hour into it, you think you're done with the mission, you start trying to go back to your home port, which is another command right here. That'll just automatically travel you back to the location at which you launched from. If you start to do that, and you haven't completed all of your missions, you're going to be in a bit of trouble, because once you land, you're going to automatically fail the mission. You're going to have to start over again, which definitely would not advise doing. Another quick note, collisions in this game. So unlike Live, Legends has added it so there is actually collision damage. So you don't just want to ram yourself into the space station at Mach 10 like you used to be able to at Live. You will explode. So just make sure that as you approach it with a reasonable speed, that you can stop in time and you're not going to slam yourself into it and die. That doesn't benefit anybody. So once we get within about 1,000 meters of the space station, we should be able to communicate with it. Once you have it targeted, it's pretty easy. It's just /com with 2 M's. And there we go. So now we can say, I want to land on Tatooine, and we want to go to the Mos Eisley starport. Thank you. So it doesn't seem like that necessarily was part of our mission, but no big deal. You can land via communicating with the space station, or you can do what I was talking to you about earlier, and you can just Slash, or excuse me, not slash, you can just select home port out of your escape menu and it'll automatically fly you back to where you started. So let's go ahead and let's talk to our pilot trainer again. Busy day in the cantina. Good job. I knew that patrol would be no problem for you. That was easy. So the Black Sun are trying to move in on Hut space, eh? Well, we better show them who's in charge around here. Analyzing the sensor data from that ship you killed, you should find more in the system. We will provide you with some possible locations. Now get at it. What about training? You need to do some more for me before I do anything more for you. There'll be time for training later. Go get those Black Sun right now. All right, well, that's going to do it for this introductory video into becoming an ace pilot. So, as always, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you next time.